It's a sexy passport in my opinion. It's really good. This is a personal favorite option because it has the lowest price. I love options which has the lowest price. It's the fraction of the cost of the other two programs. The beauty of this option is that it's fast, right? So apart from it being cheap, the lowest cost, it is the fastest possible program in 15 to 30 days, right? This has two very solid features which you guys are going to love to hear. It is a ECOWAS nation, so you do get access to those ECOWAS nations, particularly the Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. Those are the key ones on that list, and the other ones too. That's one big benefit. And secondly, the most important thing here is that it's a CPLP nation. It's one of the Portuguese speaking nations. This unlocks. First, I'm going to discuss 3 citizenships in Africa. In fact, all the citizenships in Africa that you can purchase. Now, in the best option, you can obtain this passport in 15 to 30 days. This is not a standard program known to all. This is an interesting option. The information that they ask you obviously is nowhere close to what some other programs ask you. But let me start off with the first obvious one. It's Sierra Leone, and they recently launched citizenship by investment program. This is not a citizenship by exception. So obviously the heavy due diligence, everyone is watching that program. So they do need the full-blown due diligence to make sure everyone coming in is squeaky clean. You should always be squeaky clean. You should never use these passports for any wrong reasons. Having said, what is the price and the benefits of this program? This has limited benefits, nowhere close to the new option that I'm going to discuss. It's an ECOWAS nation, so you do have direct access to a few countries, few African countries. The price of this program is 140k. When this was launched, this was one of the very first channels to report on this program. I would personally think it's kind of waste of money. Too much price for this type of a nationality. 140 exceeds it. I don't see much demand for this program at this time. Of course, you're going to find investors who are going to buy pretty much anything off the shelf. Some savvy investors would just want to work on the numbers, so they would want to collect all the passports they can. In that situation, people would go for it. But normal people, most of you guys watching, want to buy something that helps you in the long run. 140k is way too much of a price to pay for this. Adding dependents would cost you $10,000 per dependent, depending upon who you're adding. So that is a cost that you need to keep in mind. The 140k covers all fees, all donations, all due diligence, and all of that. So that's the full price that you're paying. Now, ECOWAS is a limited option on this. The visa free is not that strong. It does have some notable countries, but nothing special or nothing great here. The second one on this list is also very known and a popular, I won't say it's popular, it's a known CBI program, a citizenship by investment. This has a couple of components. One is you could pay a direct donation of 250k USD and obtain this. I'm talking about Egypt. Egypt is a very well-known country. The good thing about, I'm going to discuss the good thing and the bad thing about this program. The good thing is that it's a well-established country. You can technically go and live in Egypt for a few days if you need to. Let's say there's a problematic situation, you got to move your location, you're going to move somewhere, then Egypt might be a place where you could enter, spend some time, and feel safe in certain areas. So that's the good part. The big negative of this program is that they're asking you way too much information, in my opinion. And none of what I'm saying is legal or immigration advice. They can do what they want. You can do what you want. I'm providing you my own thoughts and assessment on this. These are personal thoughts. Again, each one thinks differently. Now, with Egypt, the worst requirement is the travel history for the last 5 years. Why would anyone be interested in knowing your travel history when you are donating 250k to their country? They should be very happy to give you citizenship without bothering you with too much information, but they can decide what they want. It's their problem. I'm just talking about my thoughts over this. People who are interested will still go for it, and people who feel this is way too much, they're going to stay away from it. I personally would stay away from any country asking me for detailed travel history. I feel it's none of anyone's business to ask you for that level of information. The second option with Egypt is slightly better at least theoretically or conceptually, is that you can purchase a real estate of 300K on the open market. Before, they restricted it to government properties. It kind of did not work, so they opened it up or expanded it to the local market. I still find it extremely hard to find a good deal that fits that whole citizenship criteria in this amount. Again, it all depends. Maybe certain properties might be okay, but overall, for most people, I think this is a stretch. You are looking at some headaches in buying it, selling it, and some additional costs associated with that purchase. Overall, is this passport strong? Nope. Does it have any ECOWAS connection? Nope. Does it have a CPLP connection? Is it a Portuguese speaking country? Do you get other nationalities sooner because of this passport? No. And for that reason, I think this comes last on my list. Only benefit, as I said, is you could go to Egypt and you could be a tourist, or let's say you become a citizen, so you're no longer a tourist, but you can tour the country using that passport. If shit hits the fan, then maybe you can stay in the country for a little longer. But other than that, I don't see this program shining too much, right? So the stats are sort of opaque. We don't know how many people actually obtained these passports. Maybe local people who are already invested, maybe they got it. There just isn't enough YouTubers flashing this kind of passport obtained through investment. The next on the list is one of my personal favorite options, and this is a personal favorite option because it has the lowest price. I love options which has the lowest price. It's the fraction of the cost of the other two programs. The beauty of this option is that it's fast, right? So apart from it being cheap, the lowest cost, it is the fastest possible program in 15 to 30 days, right? Give or take. And these are approximate numbers. Each case is different, but I'm talking about a ballpark number. In that time frame, you can actually obtain the citizenship. This has two very solid features which you guys are going to love to hear. It is a ECOWAS nation, so you do get direct settlement rights, eventual settlement rights. I mean, of course, it's the 90 days visa-free access. It's not just a pure visa-free. You can do or engage in business activities, and if you feel you want to stay longer, there's a way to convert that into residency permits easily. So you do get access to those ECOWAS nations, particularly the Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. Those are the key ones on that list, and there are other ones too. That's one big benefit. And secondly, the most important thing here is that it's a CPLP nation. It's one of the Portuguese speaking nations. This unlocks Brazil right away. You can be on the fast track to Brazil. You can potentially, and again, case by case, always consult an attorney. But based on what I see, in a year, you could fast track the Brazilian citizenship option because CPLP members or people coming from CPLP nations who are naturalized or born in those nations can obtain the Brazilian fast track nationality in just 1 year. All you got to do is strike a residency in Brazil, move to Brazil, utilize this, exercise your rights to naturalize in a year, and then you are looking at a very powerful Latin nationality because of this African nationality. And this country, this particular country, it's a citizenship by exception. The underlying vehicle is still donation. You're doing, you're contributing to their society, to their country. Small contribution goes a long way to improving their situation. They don't want to publicize this. They want to be shut down by the Western nations. They're a poor nation, so of course they want to keep their program private. They have their own rights to do so, and each exception works on a different basis. We have a direct contact. It's a government program. This is no shady business. This is a government program. The things that you get is a naturalization certificate, right? So you do get the citizenship certificate, an official, proper, government-issued citizenship certificate. You do get the passport, of course. The main deal is the passport, and you also get ID card from that nation. option, which is an ECOWAS ID card. So you do have ability to travel ECOWAS nations utilizing your ID card, right? So yes, the passport is used for travel to other places, but the ID card really adds a lot of travel mobility and alternate identity or alternate ID. It's the same ID, but it's an alternate form of ID to facilitate your travel within the ECOWAS nation. Now, what is the price? Well, all I can say, I cannot put a fixed price because this is citizenship by exception, but all I can say is obviously lower than 100K. It's nowhere crazy to those other two programs. It's much cheaper, more advantages, far more faster. It's a sexy passport, in my opinion. It's really good. I really feel this is an interesting option. It does not have the strength. It does not have the visa free. If you're looking for travel mobility, this is not your solution. This is not your answer. This is purely a discrete plan B option. You don't want to be busted. You don't want to go to those committees and governments bodies. For example, the Caribbean nations are now adding another regulatory body, a regional regulatory body, to again monitor some stuff. So yes, some of that information goes directly to the Western nations, but it's going to further be scrutinized. A lot of people don't want to get into all of that messy business. Some people do, right? I'm not saying it's a wrong thing. It may be a very good thing for those nations, but it's a personal choice. A lot of people are not interested in providing all that kind of information. Why would you get a plan B when you're yourself like that, right? So that's where you want something private between the government and you. You want this to be exceptional. You want this to be fast. You can decide, right? Regarding the documentation, it's a negotiable thing. It's nowhere as crazy as any of that, right? You want something really quick. You want value for your money. You want bang for your buck. And it also unlocks a lot of other hidden potentials, right? It can get you other nationalities potentially much faster. And we do provide full support for this one. You can always click the link, book a call, reach us. We can discuss all the details. It's not something that can be openly marketed. It's a legal, legitimate government program. It just cannot be openly marketed. We cannot flash the passport, none of that. But we can obviously discuss and get you started with this option. If you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any changes. This is sort of a limited time deal, right? Exceptions aren't unlimited. Obviously, they got to be sensible about it, but it's currently available, so we can easily get you started. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and catch you in the next one.